Oh yeah, what up y'all? It's your boy. Today's video is to explain my story. Your boy dropped out of college, bro. These are some baller moves because does it take more courage to go through your 4-year university and get a degree, or does it take more courage to drop out of college? Then on top of that, I am literally the worst employee ever. Every single job that I've ever had, right? A job. Every single job that I've ever had, I've always been the worst employee. Either I would show up to work late, either I would take naps during my shifts. Just I just was not a good employee, okay? Show up to work late, just like, and when I was at work, I don't even know if I was performing at peak performance, okay? So I dropped out of college, bro. And this is the part that like is very scratch your brain, bro, because I didn't just drop out of college. I dropped out of community college, bro. When I first finished high school, I went to community college on a full ride. Then after that, I took a gap semester and then I transferred to another community college. Then after that, I transferred back to my original community college. But while I was at the second community college, I was also dual crediting with a 4-year university. Then after that, like segment or semester, I went back to my original college. And even then, I still dropped out. So I was in community college for like 4 years, 3.5-ish, and I dual credited with a 4-year university for like a semester. I have 50 credits. If I get 10 more credits, I can get my associates at least. That's why it's like, does it take more courage to actually get all 120 credits and get your 4-year degree? Or does it take more courage to just completely drop out of college? Then on top of that, like I said, I quit my job or my boss fired me or whatever have you because I was a bad employee. Like my boss, he just stopped texting me. Every message I messaged, he just would ignore me. I think he blocked my number even. Like I was such a bad employee. He did not like me at all. And so like, the reason why I want to explain to y'all this video and my story is because what is the quantum leap? What is this big next step where you get a degree and you just think, oh, the next day I'm going to be able to do whatever I want to do? There are some people with degrees that are still looking for work for like the next 10 months after they get their degree. So what the fuck is that? Then on top of that, a lot of people have degrees, but their initial part-time job after they finish college doesn't require a degree. So it's kind of like, what was the point of even going? Like, and then for me, when I was in high school, I watched an interview. Any of you look up Gene Beatbox. He talks about how when he was in school, there was a scenario where he almost got assaulted. Like there were these guys and at the university, they were like, "Hey, come give us BJs," right? And he's a fucking freshman, sophomore in college, walking through the streets of what is it? He went to a school in California. I think it was something like that, but he just was walking around beatboxing. These creepy guys come up to him. So Gene runs to the dashes, sprints with his fucking life force, everything in his existence. He runs to the police station. Now this is what I want to explain to y'all, okay? Another story, actually a couple stories, but one that kind of hits close to home, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, okay? My mom's best friend, like my mom's absolute best friend her whole life, my mom's best friend's son died from malnourishment while in school and college. Okay? When my sister was she went to U of I, Illini, Illinois, Urbana, Champaign. When my sister was At school, the same school, there was a case where a girl gave birth to a baby and put a baby in a backpack and put the baby in a trash can. The story is the girl gave birth to a baby in her dorm room and then she threw the baby out into the garbage, bro, because she didn't want to raise it. What the fuck is that, bro? That's homicide. Like, what the fuck is the initial, where's the baby daddy? Nigga, you need to practice semen retention, okay? On top of that, you're just gonna throw a baby out into the that's literally murder homicide. So now you have a college student who was pregnant, trying to go to class, is in debt. I bet she's in debt. She has to pay off her loans. Can't afford an abortion. So because she can't afford an abortion, because she's not quote unquote ready to raise this child because the baby daddy didn't practice semen retention. So now you just committed murder, homicide, and then now not only are you a criminal, not only are you still in school, now you also, the baby daddy's also is an accomplice in this murder. It's just a fucked up situation. And where does it come from? A university. Hello? Right? And I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to these stories, bro. Okay? Then on top of that, like, my mom, she was like telling me about her best friend's son. And I'm like, same upbringing. And I never even met him. It's kind of crazy. If my mom's best friend's son, him and I should be best friends too. You know what I'm saying? But he's dead because he was malnourished trying to study in college, right? Then there's another story, I think a Harvard student, right? There was a Harvard student in like 2017, 2018 who committed suicide on campus. Nigga hung himself, bro. What the fuck is that? Harvard? And it would be one if he was like if he OD'd, okay? It would be different if he like shot himself or whatever. No, he hung himself. He wanted to stop breathing. That's how much he hated being in Harvard, okay? This is 3 scenarios, okay? Number 1, my mom's best friend's son died of malnourishment at college university. That's not a warning sign to drop out of college. Number 2, when my sister was in university, there was a case where a girl got pregnant and she threw the baby out into the garbage, bro. You housed the baby for 9 months in your body, but because you can't afford an abortion, because you can't raise the baby and the baby daddy didn't practice semen retention, so you just commit murder. Now you're a criminal. Now you're whatever. And all this stuff, your whole life ruined because now who knows if she finished school, who knows she has an income. She committed murder. She got pregnant. But it was like an unfaithful relationship. That woman needs Jesus, bro, okay? The woman has to be baptized. She got to go to Christ. You name it. Then the other story about going to Harvard, one of the most prestigious schools in the world, Harvard. And the guy hung himself. He hated being alive from the pressure of going to Harvard so bad. He didn't want to breathe anymore. He hung himself. So if these are not clear-cut signs to drop out of college, I don't know what is, okay? The fucking student loans. And on top of that, the professors do not care about anybody. The faculty do not care, bro. No one cares, bro. The faculty, and here's the thing. Charlie Kirk said it right. If you really want to be a millionaire, go into carpentry. One of my really good friends, right? One of my really, really, really good friends, bro. His name's Angel. Shout outs to Angel if you're watching this video, okay? Angel, he's going to finish school, go to Triton College, which is a trade school in Illinois. He's going to go to school for 6 months, and his entry-level job is already 6 figures in carpentry work. His entry job after 6 months of training after carpentry work is already 6 figures. His entry-level job. And then people go to 4-year universities and they get like okay, anyways. I'm like, what, SLX, what about you? You don't have a job. You don't have a degree. Where's your income? Me making these YouTube videos, this is my job. Me making my rap music, that's my job, okay? So The reason why I want to make this video is I want to explain to everyone my story is that you are not alone, okay? If you are someone who just dropped out of college, if you are someone who just quit your job and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing and you're blah, 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 this is why I want to explain to you and have faith in existence, okay? Number one, fundamentally being alive in America, you have the privilege to drop out of school. You have the privilege to not have a job. Because in other countries, you're fucked. America is the only place that you can have this opportunity, okay? Secondly, what I want to explain to you is you quit your job, okay? You quit school or whatever. And now you have this impending like feeling in your body of, oh, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? What I want to explain to you is if you think about the beginning of existence, right? There was no school. There was no jobs. Humans would just live. So this is why I want to explain to you that now that you don't have a school anymore, now that you don't have a job anymore, just by you being alive, you are winning. A long time ago, in the beginning of existence, humanity, just by us being alive, we were winning. There was no paper currency, there was no school, there were no jobs. Just the fact that you were breathing, the fact that you had a heart, the fact that you were alive means that you were winning. So people that have quit their jobs, people that have quit their schooling, we are reverting back to the actual normal order of life. The actual order, normal of life is if I am alive, what else is there to do? Before money ever existed, before having to pay for loans, pay for rent, pay for food, pay for whatever, the literal task of if I am alive, what else is there to do? Really, really think about it. So as of right now, okay, Sean, you don't have a job, you don't have school, you don't have your full-time income through YouTube, through social media, through music, through performing, through becoming the number one rapper on this planet, being a fucking Giga Chad, a model, a husband, being the father to your children, being the baby daddy to your baby mama, you name it. Being the sexiest man alive that I can bag, the absolute sexiest pixie alive, bro, okay? I am so fucking sexy. No fucking brainer that my baddie is just as sexy as me, bro. And a matter of fact, we are like this. I am so sexy, bro. It's a no-brainer that my baddie is just as sexy. And the thing about it is that I make myself sexier for her, and while she's making her sexier for me, so we're both just getting sexier for each other, okay? Here's the thing, bro, that I want to explain. Because you are alive, number one, because you are in America, number two, that now number three, fundamentally, you are allowed to live this way. Go back to nature. So all I have to do now is just think about where's my next meal? Where's my next shelter? And that's it. Now, luckily, I have the best life ever because my parents believe in me enough that they have allowed me to drop out of school. My mom and dad believe me enough that they have allowed me to quit my job so then they can, in the beginnings, continue to low-key fund my life for the next year or two while I try to make so much fucking money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars through music. And this is the thing that I keep scratching my head with, but it's okay because this is the story that I'm explaining to anyone that's gonna watch this video. You are in the same boat that I am in. You are in the same situation that I am in. You have no job anymore. You have no income anymore. You're not going to school. Fuck school. You're never going to go back to school. So what the fuck are we going to do now? Okay? What we need to do now is just be alive, and the actual value of exchange that you are giving to people. This is why the 300-year sovereignty and cryptocurrency takeover is necessary, because in 300 years, when we have the Great Reset, we will return to the bartering system. So instead of here's $100,000 for a house, it would be here's me being able to build a furnace for your house. That is my payment for your house. If I can give you, enough wine for a couple months, that is the payment. If I can give you, a musical instrument, a guitar, a motorcycle, or whatever, in exchange for, 3 months worth of steak. in exchange for, a month worth of, duck, um, you know, uh, uh, a 3 month supply of vegetables. Like, here is a tractor for an exchange of coffee. Here is coffee in exchange for strawberries. Like, the bartering system will literally reset in 300 years. Money will have transformed entirely. Governments will have transformed entirely. You'll have mini pockets of governments where people have their own currency in their own area. That's how crazy cryptocurrency is becoming, because the digital era is on the way. Young bloods will be able to code their literal own currency. Young bloods will literally be able to code their own government in the metaverse, bro. These things are happening as we speak, but no one realizes it. So what I want to explain to y'all is, you don't have a job, you don't have school, don't worry. The actual value and vector of exchange now is completely different than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, okay? If you don't have a job, you can make money so many other ways: online, through crypto, through value exchange, through so many other venues and vectors. Secondly, you're not going to school. Don't worry. The education is literally at your fingertips. Read a book. Even if you just read 3 books, you could honestly learn more from reading 3 to 30 books than you could have just gone to 4 years of school. And when you go to school, you just read books anyways. So just go read books, okay? Then on top of that, in the beginning phases of you just dropped out of college, you literally just dropped out of school already, and you're in this, oh shit, what the fuck do I do stage or whatever. That's cap. The fact that you dropped out of school, the fact that you quit your job, means that you already knew exactly what to do. So this quagmire state that you're in, where you're like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna do or whatever, you're doing exactly what you know to do. Because your body rejected school so much, you'd rather be sitting around in boredom, biting your nails, trying to figure out where you're going to get your next bread from, than being under fluorescent lights. Your body rejected being under a 9 to 5 with managers and bosses' regular job job so much that you'd rather be biting your nails, nervous, where am I going to get my next bread from, than being under fluorescent lights. So in this quagmire state of, oh, what am I doing or whatever, you are already knowing and exactly of a doing of what you already knowing of, or doing it right now. So SLX, hopefully, well, who knows if the story goes out, but I just want to continue to explain my story. You're not alone. Explain my story. I'm also a college dropout. Explain my story. I'm also a quit my jobber. Explain my story. I'm also trying to figure out how to make money through other avenues than the regular 9 to 5 jobber. I'm also, like I said earlier, bro, I'm literally manifesting, but I hate manifestation because manifestation is fucking fake. Astrology, numerology, magic spells, crystals, rocks, stones, you fucking name it, all fucking fake bullshit, okay? But if there's one thing that I want to say, my guy, please, 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 in the existence of existence, by somehow the divinity and the higher power that have been anointed me this life, I have 4 letters to tell you. LIAR.